Mm. Do you guys drink enough water? What's up, y'all? Ugh. Excuse my apple eating, but I'm done now. How's it going, guys? Happy lunchtime on Thursday. Say hello to some people in the chat here. Previn's here. Brian and Travis are here. Simisengard. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but hello. John Luke's here. What's going on? Infernal is watching on Twitch. What's going on over there? Am I winning? Maybe. On first bottle of the day. Yes, good to drink more than one bottle. Sim Isengard. Okay, got it. Thank you for clearing that up. A lot of times when I butcher people's names, they don't correct me, and then I still just never know. Or they do, and I don't see it in the chat. But okay, good to catch it in the chat. So now I know. Thank you. I have not started yet. I'm just about to. So let's get to it. Just got your kit today. Nice. Wing Zero. I dare say that I think this is my favorite version of the Wing Gundam. I really like it. The Wing Zero Custom is always going to be really cool, because it's very sleek design, and then of course the wings are super unique. The original Wing TV version, I'm just not really a fan of the wings, not really a fan of the claws on the forearms, and there's just a lot of about the design that just doesn't really do it for me. The Verka is really nice. It's kind of a good mix of the TV version Wing and the Wing Zero Custom. Kind of it's got that sleekness. It's got a little bit more kind of Katoki styling to it, obviously. The EW version, I guess I should say. I don't know. I like this one. This Wing Zero's got a little bit more bulk to it. I don't know. It's really nice. I like the shoulders. I like the big, wide shoulders. I like the big ears. It's pretty typical of all the different Wing Gundams are like that. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but I do really like this one. So let's get going on the feet. So this is I think the last RG, which was the Shining Gundam, right? I think I made a point to mention while we were building that one that, if I remember correctly, I have to go back and look, but I think it was the case where that one, the order in which you build it was a little bit different, because with most RGs it goes that you build the feet first and then you kind of build up from there. You kind of build it from the ground up, sort of, and it's kind of a cool way to build. But I think the Shining Gundam was different, wasn't it? I remember on a recent one, I don't remember exactly which one it was, but on some recent RG I remember noticing and making a point to mention about how the build order was a little different than the Anyway, whatever the case, and for this kit, it's back to the normal building it from the ground up, or starting with the feet. So I don't know. I kind of like starting from the torso and kind of building out from there, then building the limbs and everything. But all good. We'll follow the manual. We'll be good listeners, good followers. Good builders for today. So what's going on, everybody? There's some news from the from Bandai's latest announcement drop. I don't think I'm gonna do it a dedicated video about it though, just because there wasn't that much news to talk about. There's some cool new 30-minute stuff that looks interesting. I usually don't, when I do my news recap videos, I usually don't cover too much about the 30 minutes stuff generally. But there was some cool new 30-minute stuff, like especially the option set with the like trucks and tanks and vehicles and stuff, more sort of like diorama parts, which is kind of cool. So that's nice. I like when Bandai does new stuff like that. So I definitely thought that was pretty cool. As far as like the Gundam announcements, I mean, what did we have? We just saw the same stuff that we'd already seen again, the Hammurabi, which looks awesome. I really can't wait for that. The Sandrock also looks really cool. I think when that was first announced, I think I reported on it mistakenly saying that it was going to be a P Bandai kit, just because, you know, these days, I mean, any announcement like that, I mean, I feel like you just have to assume that it's P Bandai. But anyway, it's not, which is cool. But yeah, so I think that whether it's P Bandai or not, I think the main takeaway is that because of the fact that we're getting that kit, it's safe to say that we're going to get some more of the EW kits, or the Endless Waltz versions of the Gundams in HG, which is awesome, because those old HGs I had recently, just a couple months ago, did a couple of reviews of some of the old HGs from Endless Waltz, and yeah, they're not good. They're not great. They're just very old. They're from late 90s, and just kind of from a time before HG really kind of started to get good. So it'll be very nice to have some nice new HGs of those releases, and so yeah, it's safe to assume that those are going to be coming following the Sandrock. And interesting that they're starting with the Sandrock though, because if you kind of compare that to like what they're doing with the HG G Gundam kits, which is another reason why I thought that the EW kits would be P Bandai. So I thought that the EW kits would be P Bandai because of the G Gundam kits also being P Bandai. So, you know, kind of would have made sense, but they're doing something different for those, which is awesome. So anyway, they're doing it kind of differently, it would seem, in that with the G Gundam kits, it feels like they're kind of going in order of popularity. They're doing like the most popular ones first, and then they're like saving the Bolt Gundam for last, even after the Mandala Gundam, which is kind of weird. But I don't know which one necessarily would be the most popular, but I feel like the Sandrock is probably not it. So I feel like they're kind of going in reverse order almost. If they were going to make new HGs of the Endless Waltz Gundams, that they would start with like the Wing Zero, and then like the Death Scythe Hell, and then what, I don't know, Ultron or Heavy Arms Custom. And yeah, I just feel like well, I'm a big fan of that, of the Sandrock Custom. I think probably it's not the most popular of the bunch, I would guess. So it's kind of an odd starting point, but maybe they're just kind of wanting to get that one done and out there, and then they'll move on to some of the more popular designs. And maybe it will be a good backwards. Maybe it will be like a good test, just to like see how popular the kits really are, kind of thing. That's like, if even the least popular of the bunch sells really well, then they can that kind of helps them to gauge their production for the more popular suits from the series. I don't know. I could be wrong. That's just kind of some rambling thoughts on the matter, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me get caught up in the chat here a little bit. While I was on that rant, I was ignoring the chat. So thank you for the super chat here, just right there, YHVH. How should I paint the back of the missile bays in the Zissa's legs? Seems too tightly packed for techniques I've researched. So like you want to paint I know what you mean. It's kind of hard to describe, isn't it? But like not the missiles themselves, but the backing part. Probably a reverse wash would be the easiest way to go about it, where you just like if you want the missiles to be red, just paint the whole part red, and then paint with like a lacquer red, and then with like an enamel paint with like a dark gray, whatever you're going to use for like the background color, paint that with an enamel paint, and then you can just use a Q-tip and wipe off the gray enamel paint from like the missile heads and as much of the missiles as you want, really. And yeah, it's just a reverse wash. I've done a video on it, at least one, but you can find lots of stuff about to reverse wash. Probably the easiest way to paint that. Yeah, Tequila Gundam, I think, yeah, you know, up until the announcement of the HD Mandala Gundam, I would have said no way are we ever getting a Tequila Gundam HD, but since they're making the HD Mandala Gundam, then yeah, like I said, I think I mentioned this before, but yeah, I think Tequila Gundam is much more on the table now than it ever would have been in my mind. So certainly is like the announcement of that Gundam certainly made things interesting. The announcement of that kit release, I guess I should say. So this is something I knew about ahead of time going into this build, that because I'd seen about how like the leg construction works on it and how complex like the leg transformation is, and so it was something that I knew I was going to want to like pay close attention to. But as far as the build goes, I mean, just like putting it together just now. Let me focus that up a bit better here for you guys. I mean, the actual process of just putting together the frame was pretty still felt like pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So it wasn't anything like too awkward to put together. I was worried it was going to be like actually making me use my brain, but no, fortunately, not the case. It was still pretty easy. So that's good. All right. In typical RG fashion, especially in like more recent RGs, seeing a lot of really nice details on the frame and also details of the frame that stick out through the armor. So that's cool. Yeah, and so far going together really nicely. Yeah. So I'm excited to have this all built up. And actually, I hate mentioning things like this because it's just one of those things that like if I have the time, I would like to do it, but it's not something I'm gonna promise. So don't hold me to this, guys. While did I miss a part, or do I just have this part in the wrong spot? I think okay. I would really love to paint this kit, and I would love to paint it in the what's it called? I always forget the name. The build the battle log color version, the Wing Zero Sky, I think it was. Is that right? Wing Zero Sky, like the blue battle log version. It's not like, to be honest, it's not like my favorite color scheme ever, but I just think it would be a cool, like simple repaint to paint this kit, just because as most RGs go, I mean, the RGs are really easy to paint just because kind of similar to master grades, kind of even more so, that RGs have like hardly ever have any like seam lines that you have to glue or anything like that. So they're very easy to just do a little bit of cleanup on the parts and just paint it, put it back together. It's really simple. There's like no modification work or seam lines or anything like that you have to do on them. So actually really fairly quick to paint up if you're not doing any modifications. So I was thinking like, it would be cool to just do, because I'm obviously I haven't built the kit yet. I'm in the process of building it, but anticipating that I'm going to like the kit because I like the Gundam's design and it's a nice new modern RG. I mean, what's not to like? So on that assumption, I was thinking like, it'd be cool to paint this kit, and if I can, and I think just basically repainting it in the color scheme of the Wing Zero Sky, I think would be really cool. So, like I said, don't hold me to it because I just have a lot on my plate at the moment, but it's something that maybe I will do at some point in the near future. We'll see. Just got out of an onsen. Oh yeah, David, are you guys still in Japan, right? Or are you in Japan, still in Japan? Are you there in Japan? Nice. And why, if you are in Japan, why are you watching my live stream? I mean, I appreciate it by all means, but I mean, if I were you, I would not be. So I wouldn't blame you if you were not here and went off to go do something more fun with your time while you're there in Japan. Or maybe you just want to, maybe you're tired, want to take a break. That's understandable too. I mean, traveling anywhere can be tiring. Traveling in Japan, I guess probably anywhere, like especially in Tokyo or in like a big cities. I don't know. It's just like traveling in a big city can be very tiring though, because I mean, like you're going around just a lot more than you would kind of like in your daily life usually, right? Especially if you're not from a big city like that. I don't know. Maybe if you were like from New York and visiting Tokyo, it might not feel like such an abrupt change, but I feel like you're just like doing a lot more walking and a lot more than what most people would typically do in their life. So it's tiring. Yeah. It's good weather though. I feel like this is probably a good time to be there because the weather would be like really nice, not too hot, not too cold, not rainy. So it's actually probably like one of the best times to go in terms of just like pretty moderate temperature there. I don't know what it's been like lately, but I would say it's probably pretty comfortable. Waiting for my wife to get out of the onsen. We have 12 hours left going to Canada tomorrow in Orlando. Oh my god. So you're in the last waning hours. I'll tell you what I told, I'm sure I've told this story before, so you've probably heard it. I'll tell you what I told Josh, who is actually, Josh is actually in Japan at the moment as well. He's there traveling around with his wife and their recent addition to the family child, which, yeah, I don't know if you guys knew that. Josh, friend of the channel, hasn't been on in a long time, but anyway, he's there as well. But last time with his family, last time he was there by himself, and he had like I think he had like 2 days left of his trip. He was there for like a month or 6 weeks or something like that, crazy, like traveling around. He was doing a bunch of different stuff, but he had like a couple days left and didn't really have anything planned. He was just basically like kind of hanging out in Tokyo. I think it was kind of what was going on at the time. And I told him, like, if it was me, I just basically just wouldn't sleep much. I mean, obviously you got to sleep, but I would just spend as much time as you can just like out and about. And so that's what I would tell you and your wife, David, that spend as much time as you can. If you're only there for a few hours, I mean, maybe you kind of did everything that was on like your to-do list, but just spend as much time as you can just kind of hanging out, taking it in. Don't just sit in the hotel. I mean, if you're tired, take it easy. But I would, even then, if you like just wanted to take a rest, I mean, just like go and chill in like a coffee shop or something, and just people will watch for a few hours. I don't know. It's just me, but that's what I would do. And I guess that's not only for in Japan, just I guess like traveling sort of in general, I suppose. But yeah, definitely. Just kind of have to try to make the most of that time there. Very jealous. Just over a week until we head down there that way. Nice. Yeah. David will be coming back this way. Brian and Travis are coming this way soon. A lot of people coming to visit. Just as a reminder, in case you guys are in the area or from the area or are going to be in the area. So obviously next week is Thanksgiving. And like here at USA Gundam Store, obviously we're closed on Thanksgiving. But Black Friday, we will be open. So if you guys want to come into the store, I don't think there'll be any like well, I don't think that there will be any like sale in the storefront physically, but I also am not privy to that, so it could be that there is something planned and I'm not aware. So don't hold me to that. But at the very least, anyway, the store will be open. So if you guys want to come in on that Black Friday, but more importantly, on Saturday, right after that, Small Business Saturday, will be open for Build Day on that day. So if you guys have never been to a Build Day, come hang out. It's a lot of fun. If you have been to a Build Day, come hang out. It's a lot of fun. We'll be there. Small Business Saturday. I don't know if the hours for that Build Day will be different. So usually it's from 11 to 4, but everyone's going to be here working. Usually on Saturdays when we have Build Days, like this, like the store, like the warehouse is not open, like nobody's working. But that day, actually, everyone will be here working. So, I mean, if everyone else is going to be here, like typical working hours, 8 to 5, I don't know if that means that the hours for Build Day will also be different, or if that's still just going to be held to 11 to 4. I think that's the plan. It's still just going to be 11 to 4 as usual, but there might be a little more leeway to come in a little earlier or a little later. I'm not sure. I'll have to check and let you guys know. We've been talking about it, we've been planning it and everything, so I just don't know if there is anything like that planned, actually. The Black Friday short was hilarious. Yeah, did you guys like that? I found it really funny how there was a mix of comments. I think a lot of people that enjoyed it and understood why. So there's been a couple like Black Friday videos, but I think the one, I'm assuming the one you're talking about is the one where it's all shaky and out of focus and everything. It's supposed to be previewing the some of the Black Friday giveaways, but it's all like the videos just like terribly filmed. Obviously that was intentional and like that was the joke, so that it's supposed to be like a sneak peek, but you kind of can't really even see what the items are. I think for the astute observer, you probably can tell what they are. But yeah, it was made obviously intentionally that way. But it was funny that there was still like comments from people like complaining about the video, like I can't see anything. I'm like, why is it like that? Why is it out of focus? Stuff like that. Really? So here's the legs. They look really awesome. Love that two-tone white with the warm gray bits there. I mean, here. There's quite a lot of it on the legs, more so than at other areas of the build, just because the legs are primarily white, so there's more of that off-white to kind of break it up here. Whereas other parts of the build have a lot less like white as like a ratio. What is your next Megami device review? Your next Megami device review is probably this one I've got here. It's the Nodoka Takahara kit. This one, which I've been like chipping away at for a while. It's just kind of taking me forever. And this one's been out for a while, and there's even a new color version of this one out now, A7. So yeah, I'm behind there, as with everything else, really, to be honest. That's the next Megami device. We've got the Letitia Silver version is the next Frame Arms Girl, or either that or the Frame Arms Girl Durga Cat Armor kit. I've got those two here also that I'm working on, that I need to work on, that I need to finish, basically putting those together so that I can review those. Probably will try to do that next week, amongst other things. But yeah, just been very busy, right? Just with lots of stuff coming out, as usual. That's just how it goes. So on to the skirt, which will be cool because then we can connect the legs and then we can move on to the torso. Ooh, push this part in there. I think that's all. Okay. Wait a second. think I had that part in the wrong place. Problem is, all right, give me a second. There's a part here for the back skirt that when I was cleaning up the parts, I realized like, oh wait, I think that's in the wrong spot. And I think I had it like with the backpack parts. Hang on, let me see if I can find it here real quick. Little blue part. I know exactly what I'm looking for. You guys, okay. Making sure you're not looking down on the top of my head. Camera on. Just trying to see if I can't find this little part in here. Someone hurt my feelings the other day and accused me. Someone commented that, like, so as some of you might notice, my hair is getting a bit long, and someone commented something like it looks like he's growing his hair out to hide his baldness or something like that. And it's like, it looks like he's growing his hair out to hide his baldness and it's not working, something along those lines. And first of all, let me tell you, I've been like this amount of balding like for a long time. It may be getting more, honestly, I don't know. I don't like measure it every year, but I've always had a very large forehead, and so it's kind of not really anything new. And the only reason that I'm growing my hair out is just because I just can't be bothered to go to get it cut. I was going to get it cut in June before I went on vacation in July. And then I was like, well, I'll just get it cut on vacation. I think I told this story, but like my friend in Korea is a hairdresser, so I'm like, well, while I'm there in Korea, I'll just go to him and visit him. And but when we were there in Korea, and I went to go to his hair shop, it was closed and gone. And so I don't know if it moved or what. So anyway, I was like, well, all right, I'll go to a different place. And I went to a couple other different places nearby, and they were like, oh, we don't have time today. And the other one's like, okay, we do have time, but it's going to be like so expensive. Okay, well, I'm not doing that. Like, all right, well, I'll just wait till we get back from vacation. So we get back from vacation at the end of July. And since then, I've just been like, I don't know, it's fine. I don't really need to go get a haircut. I just haven't been bothered to go get a haircut. So while I am balding, I guess, to a degree, the length of my hair or the lack of cutting my hair has nothing to do with that. It's just I got more important things to worry about. Just so we can clear that up for that one person that commented about it. But just in case there was anyone or anybody else that was thinking it, just leave me alone. No, I just don't really care that much about that. Oh. Couldn't get this part on. I realized it's not pushed together all the way. There we go. That's very interesting construction here for the hip section. You straight up call you Unk? So, yeah, some people here in the office had been calling me Unk lately. Sorry, I've really not been paying that much attention to the chat because I've just been going off and also focused on the build, but sorry about that, guys. Again, as I have failed to say today, but as I try to remember to say usually, if you guys do have any specific questions, either about the build or not, kind of doesn't really matter, but if you have any questions that you would like to ask, feel free to put your question in all caps in the chat. It just helps me see it in the chat. As long as you're not spamming the chat with all caps, I don't mind it. So back, how's the build going so far? It's going really good. I mean, as you would expect. I mean, this is one of those builds where, I mean, like, it's not gonna surprise me. I mean, I kind of know what to expect. I know that it's gonna be a really nice build. It's a 2025 brand new RG kit, so I mean, you kind of know know what you're gonna get. You know you're gonna have a nice kit. Um, so I don't think there's gonna be. I don't expect any surprises with this unless like I come across something at some point where it's just like, oh, really, like, what the hell is going on with that? But you know, I don't expect anything quite like that. But those kits do that. To be honest, always just sometimes even reviewing kits like this, it almost kind of feels like, what's the point of even reviewing this? I mean, because you know it's going to be good, and you kind of know what to expect. So, you know, I mean, I enjoy doing the reviews, and I'm happy to do it. But also, just kind of feel like, no one really should be surprised by anything with the kit like this. You know, you're getting that nice quality. I don't know. I guess like there's some situations where like you have some surprises or some things that it's good like to make people aware of, like with the RG Sazabi, for example. It's kind of like the most recent example I can think of this. I can't think of a more recent RG that had any kind of issue, but there was, of course, the infamous shoulder joints of the RG Sazabi, which I never had a problem with, and I don't really consider to be a problem, really, but I know a lot of people did have an issue with this. So in that case, like that's another example like what I'm talking about, where I mean, like, there's not a whole lot of point in reviewing it because, like, you know, it's just going to be really good and really solid. But in that case, there was something that was actually kind of worth making sure that people were aware of, in that just wanted to make sure that people knew to be careful with the shoulder joint. But no. So when did we put this part here on the front? I think I missed that. Okay, I definitely did miss that. Oh, and I missed, I was actually supposed to go on before that piece. Let's see. Fudge it a bit, get that in there. So anyway, yep, build is going very, very nicely. Got another piece here that either I missed or it's in the wrong spot. I think that might actually be a part of the backpack and I have in the wrong spot. Or let's see. Any unique gimmick from the kit? Well, yes, the way the shit. You guys distracted me. It's your fault. Yeah, the way the legs transform, definitely I would say is a very unique gimmick that I don't think other versions, which there, to be fair, there hasn't been very many versions of this design in model kit form. There's no MG. The Proto Zero would be the closest thing. For some reason, they still haven't made an actual like proper TV version Wing Zero MG kit, which is odd. There is the HG, I suppose, but the HG's legs don't transform in the same way. I actually don't. Well, I was gonna say I haven't built it, but I have built it. I've built the Sky version, and yeah, as far as I can remember, it's just kind of the typical like bending the legs back, sort of, and that's kind of about it. But yeah, so that's definitely a unique aspect of this, is the leg transformation. But as with any version of the Wing Gundam, I'm not a big fan of the transformation generally, so it's not something that I personally get too excited about. But it is a unique gimmick of this kit, that's for sure. And I definitely prefer that over like some of the gimmicks that we've seen added for other versions, like for example the Wing Zero EW Verka, like the Wing Zero Custom Verka. Amazing kit, incredible. This must be part of the backpack. Look at it. Yeah, it is. Incredible kit, They added the new feature with like the Buster rifles mounting into, well, like the transformation of it was also new that they added for that kit, which I also didn't really care that much for. I was just kind of like, I don't really like the transformation that much. They also added the Buster rifles being to connect onto the inside of, like, the front inside of the wings. That also is just kind of like, not that interesting, but sure. There's our lower body all done. Looks really nice. I like it. Very cool. Any gunplay you want to re-review? Yeah, actually, I'm in the process of doing one, sort of. So a long time ago, one of the very first, if not the first reviews that I ever did on my channel, it's either the first or one of the first, was the HGC Banshee Destroy mode. And that kit's been getting a lot of heat lately. So I decided to revisit that kit, and I'm currently working on that video at the moment. Well, not like at this moment, obviously I'm working on this kit, but it's over there. I am working on that. A review and kind of reviewing that kit to defend its honor, as it were. Because yes, it's been getting a lot of very unfair criticism, I feel like. Not only lately, but like for like a long time. Not like just the past weeks, but past years. There was one review in particular lately that kind of like stirred the pot on that, but I've seen reviews from like a couple years ago too that like were saying a lot of similar things, and so it's just it's been a long time coming, but that kit deserves some defense. So I will step up to the plate and defend that kit because it's a perfectly nice kit. I would say a very nice kit. With them, it's got a lot more going for it than I think some people give it credit for. So yes, other than that, other like re-reviews that I have, nothing planned. But I'm sure if I like went back in my catalog, which is, I mean, if, depending on how far we want to go back, and we could go back very far, I'm sure I could find something that I would feel would be worthwhile to like take another look at. Yeah, I don't know about anything that's like coming to mind right offhand, but I'm sure I could find something. So this cockpit hatch here doesn't want to stay on by itself until you put these red bits here on the side. And then you can open up the cockpit hatch there like that. There's a chance to remove the bottom paint. What's that mean? Too late for all the caps. What? Oh, sorry. Here we go. Let's see. Hi, Zach. Long-time fan. I have a question about enamel paints. What do you think? What do you think with them? With Mr. Color leveling thinner is perfect for airbrushing enamel. But when you try to do reverse wash, too late for all the caps. There's a chance to remove. I don't know about using Mr. Leveling Thinner. Mr. Color leveling thinner with Tamiya enamels. I think I've maybe heard of that being a thing, although I can't remember offhand, and so I don't want to say yeah, go for it. I mean, unless if you tried it and it worked, then cool. But I don't remember. I know like what you can use with enamels can be kind of like picky. So, but as far as As far as just doing a reverse wash, I mean, like that's enamels are great for doing a reverse wash. Yeah, Zach, maybe for April you just have a video reviewing one of your old reviews. I have done that, kind of something like along those lines. I have done a video where I was like taking a look back at, I think, like my very first video or something along those lines. It wasn't like an April Fool's video or something like that. In April, it's got to be a proper April Fool's video. Got to make sure I can still maintain my spot as the king of April Fools. It's a hard title to keep. I like to fancy myself pretty good at fooling the community with my fake announcements. Not in like the trolly Facebook way, but in the proper way. So for this part here on the chest, it's pretty cool. You have a yellow part and a silver part. They go together. The green part goes on last, I guess. So. And this clear part that fits over the top of this right here. And then fits onto the chest. Right there. Kind of like really layering it up there with everything. Then the Vulcans, these are meant to be pointed back. No, this way is pointed back. That, and then that goes on top to close that up. So the Vulcans, I guess, are going to like flip forward like that when in use. Whoa. So when are we going to actually put some more of the armor on this thing? Keep building up all these different parts of the frame and everything, and expecting at some point we're going to add the rest of the armor, right? We got these little teeny tiny flaps. Okay. Then we're finally going to close that up and close it up here at the back. Finally going to put in the little green dome piece there at the front. Hopefully that doesn't feel loose. It doesn't at the moment. I think it's okay. These covers right here, which are the same, they're not different for the left and the right side. So we're just going to fold down like that, and they just open up, and you can then pop out the Gatling guns and do one of those like that for the front of the chest. Really cool. All right. Should I ask my parents to get me one of these for Christmas, or should I ask them for MG Buster and Aegis to finish the GAT team? I mean, you kind of can't go wrong with either option, really. So those MGs are really nice, though, I gotta say. So, I mean, those are definitely ones that I would say you would want for your collection. And, I mean, ultimately, you're probably going to want to collect all of them. So it's just a matter of which ones you want first. And if you already have the other seed MGs and you're trying to like complete the lineup, then maybe just get those first and then get this later. How's that sound? It's like none of those kits, none of your options are like out of print or going out of print. So they're always going to be available. You can always get them later on. Whichever one you don't get first, you can get later. Or just be an extra good boy and ask for all three. Leo, yeah, Bandai needs to make a master grade Leo. I mean, if we're being really real, that's just one of the greatest mysteries of the universe, I think. Why Bandai's not made that. Okay, so now that we're getting a good ways into the build, just to kind of revisit the point that I was mentioning earlier about wanting to paint this kit. Now that I'm more than halfway through, I guess I could say, I can now report that I definitely want to paint this kit because it's just one of those where I can just tell, like, just from building it, how easy it's going to be to paint, and like it's one of those kind of like a thing I've talked about before. I'm just hesitating because I feel like I just repeat myself a lot on these live streams, like talking about the same things a lot of times. So apologies to those of you guys who have heard what I'm about to explain, and you're like, oh, he's telling that thing again. But there's some kits that like they're just fantastic kits. They look great. They're amazing. Really, really good kits. And they're the kind of kits that, like, no matter what you do to it, it's gonna look good. So in a way, I almost find those to be a little bit more boring. And like this would definitely be one of those examples. Like if it comes to painting a kit, just because it's sort of like paint by numbers, right? And like you're gonna get like like paint by numbers, like those like things where you can buy like on Amazon or whatever, where it's like a canvas and it's all like paint by numbers, and it comes with all the paints you need. Like everything's there to make like a masterpiece. So you can you can paint you can paint your own version of the Mona Lisa or whatever, something like that. One of those. That's how I feel about that's sort of how it feels for me painting kits like this, where it's just really nice, and it doesn't really matter what you do with it. It's going to come out looking really good just because of how well the kit is designed and detailed and everything else. And so that's why I sometimes say that sometimes like the more uglier kits that give me more of a challenge are kind of more fun in a way, just because it kind of makes me have to get a bit more creative in trying to take something that at least is ugly, at least in my opinion, and make it into something that I think looks better. So like I had been talking about this with what was that? I talked about this a lot with Josh. No, it was with Josh, with Ryan. I think it was with Ryan, actually. Sorry. A few months back when the Bolanoxamon HG kit came out, because that was like another example where it's just a design that I just don't at all care for. But it's almost kind of more tempting to work on a kit like that, because like I would get more excited about working on a kit like that because it's going to allow me to do something different with it, to kind of make it mine. I have to. I'm like forced to change it, make it unique, just because I just don't like how it looks out of the box. And at least in my opinion, it doesn't look good straight out of the box. It looks kind of ugly. So kits like that, I enjoy the challenge of them. Whereas a kit like this, it's not that I wouldn't enjoy painting it, and like I just finished saying a minute ago that I'm really looking forward to painting this and hoping that I could get the chance to paint this sooner than later. Like it'll be really fun and easy to paint up, just because it'll be like rather simple, straightforward. Won't take a ton of time, if I'm not planning on doing any kind of like modification or anything to it. So, and it'll look really good, kind of without having to really put in a whole bunch of effort into it or anything. That can be fun too. But I think it's just as much, if not more fun, to kind of challenge yourself with something that's maybe not going to just look really cool without any effort. That makes sense. But I think for like the general public, I feel like I'm probably kind of in the minority. I think like most people, when you just look at like Gundam, Gunpla fans generally, usually kind of what most people are wanting. Is that a nub or did I'm not sure. I don't think that's a nub there. If you just look at like what most people are wanting, and what most people want is like a kit that's gonna just look super good, super cool, super detailed and everything, just like right out of the box. And just like a really awesome looking kit. Yeah, who doesn't love that? But like at the same time, where's the challenge in that? There you go. Wasn't wanting to click. I finally got it. What do you think? You guys agree, disagree? Are you about that challenge, or are you about that eye candy? I guess I don't know what to call it. Kind of a bit worried that this shoulder is just connected via a ball joint. When it's got like fairly good sized weapons that it needs to be able to hold up, it needs to have good strong shoulders, and that ball joint connection rather than like a locked in like peg. I don't know about that. We'll see. On MG, Marcosius, and Gushan Rebake Full City. Man, I am not at all a fan of the Rebake Full City of either. Kind of any version of the Gushan, really, to be honest. I think like the original green version maybe would be the most interesting, just because it's so different. But especially the Rebake and the Rebake Full City, I'm just not a fan of the designs at all. Sorry, guys. I know I'm the weird one, but they just don't do it for me. Like the backpack and like the rebakes, like big weird like bulbous like onion backpacks things, and I like I don't know, the big back skirt, which I guess it's kind of cool how like the back skirt is like repurposed like from the Gushan, so like it kind of maintains that shape, but still just kind of ugly looking. And the rebake kind of has sort of some improvements to the design, but just like not really enough for me. And then it has improvements in some areas and then downgrades in other areas. I think like not a big fan, but yeah, like I said, I like the original Gushan just because it was kind of different. Where are we? Okay. Um, I think your average Gunpla fan would enjoy some challenge or challenging themselves, but are simply unaware where it would fit in the process. I think that's um, maybe a good point in that. Yeah, it's not that most Gunpla fans would be like averse to the challenge, um, or like scared. I think that's another thing too. Is like a lot of people are just kind of nervous to try things. Like, I mean, I hear that a lot when it comes to like waterside decals or like just like painting in general or anything like that. Not even necessarily like advanced techniques, I would say, like sort of just kind of intermediate, maybe like even to like high beginner, high beginner, low intermediate sort of like skills. But yeah, people are just like kind of nervous to try things because they don't want to. They spent their hard-earned money or birthday money on a model or whatever model kit, and they don't want to mess it up, in their words. But I think it's hard to get past that worry that like no matter what you do, you're not going to mess it up, or like even if you do, mess it up, that there's a lot of value in learning how to fix things that you messed up, because you're always gonna mess stuff up, even as like much more experienced, much more expert, quote unquote, builders. I'm sure would tell you that they mess up stuff all the time too. And the good thing is that once you know how to fix those mess ups, that's a very good skill to have. So yeah, it's hard to get people past that, and it's just kind of usually just up to them to get past that sort of mental block. But invariably, what I always hear from people too is that like when it comes to painting, especially, and like airbrushing, especially, it's one thing that has been my experience, and I hear from a lot of other people too, is that like once people start airbrushing, the usual thought is like, oh man, why didn't I start doing this a long time ago? So I think that probably would go for a lot of other techniques and different things as well, other than just only airbrushing. That's just one of those things, like once you try it, you're like, oh, why wasn't I doing this years and years ago? So there's our body done. Let's put the head together. I love chicken. Really? So my ad, it was great. Oh, thank you. Which ad was that? Where I'm walking and talking? Or what? Okay. Head, which I think is gonna be pretty simple here, which is normal, but wait. Back, okay. Wait. I think that's right. No, it looks like that needs to go on there a little bit more. Yes, that's in there. Okay. Notice I'm not putting any stickers or anything on for the eyes, just because they're in clear green, and just kind of want to show them like that without having the stickers in there. Stickers are good because it makes them catch the light better. Clear parts for eyes on their own, I'm just not a fan, because clear parts, without doing any like back painting or anything else to them, usually they're just hard to see, especially for like eyes, like cameras on weapons and stuff like that, or like this part here on the chest. The only reason that that's as bright as it is because there's that silver part behind them. See, there's also clear green parts right here in like the chest vents, but they're barely visible as like clear green, just because even that silver part is behind there too, but it's just there's not enough light. It's just this really tiny space. There's not enough light getting in there. And for in the head, the eyes are just not going to be visible. So yeah, I mean, they're clear green parts, but unless you like paint like a bright silver in behind there, or I mean, I would just repaint the eyes, really, to be honest, because just the clear parts just not really ever very visible. And like it kind of makes sense, like it's logical for them to be clear, but like considering that they're essentially like lens parts, and there's like cameras, like a camera array behind there, which is what's actually kind of like making up the eye itself. But I don't know. Okay, so going back to what I said when we were building the legs, how I knew that the legs was a fairly complex part of the build, but it went together like actually quite simply. The backpack is another area where I know that there's a really complex spot with the booster, and that you can like turn the part and like the flaps open up, and it's really cool, but I don't know how tricky this is going to be. We're about to find out. It's going to actually be a tricky part of the assembly or not. So put all this stuff here to the side real quick. Like the different parts for the wings and stuff we don't need quite yet. I have a Gundam marker, and I think the color is called emerald green, perfect for green eyes. Yeah, like a metallic paint is much better, or just like using the stickers. Yeah, Valkyrie asking about, is Bandai going to address the loose hips or the perfect grade Unleashed new Gundam? Because in that video in the Gundam channel, it looked like it could barely stand up. Yes, no offense, but to anyone that's worried about that, like it's pretty obvious that that's just a prototype, that the actual kit is not going to be like that. That's not the actual kit that they have there, most likely. I haven't actually watched the video in full. I've just seen the clip, like, because people have been going nuts over this. But all it looks like to me is like that's just a prototype, and unfortunately it was having some stability issues there. Now I think that either way, that's pretty embarrassing on Bandai's part, and it's not a good way to show off their big new, crowning achievement. So it's not a good look, but I don't think that it's an actual issue that the kit itself is going to actually have. I think it's just because that's just a prototype, and unfortunately Bandai didn't do a better job of making sure that for their big demonstration they had something that was going to be a bit more solid. They absolutely should have, and they definitely messed up, and somebody should lose their job over that, because it's certainly not going to help sales of that kit. But I think for most people, I think most people probably saw it for what it was, that's just a prototype, and it's like, okay, well, sort of reminds me of like when Elon Musk came out and threw a brick through the window of the Cybertruck, right? He's talking about how like it's bulletproof, bulletproof glass. Okay, we'll go. I'm gonna throw a brick through it and just right through the window. Like, yeah, you don't want that to happen when you're displaying your new product and trying to show it off. But at the same time, I mean, you kind of know that it's not the full prototypes. I mean, as long as it can be demonstrated later that that's not an issue, then I'm not worried about it. At this point, I understand that it's not the completed product, so I wouldn't really worry about it too much. I think, to be honest, anybody that's like, because I'd seen a couple of other channels have already come out like making videos about it and everything, and it's just why even like, it's just for content. It's just like to hype up basically nothing, just because people are hyped up about it for honestly no good reason. So that's my thoughts on that. TLDR, not at all worried about it. I do have my concerns about that kit, but they're not related to the stability that was demonstrated in that video demonstration. My main concern is just more related to the price, really, which I think is the main concern that most people have with that. So, and my thoughts on that are kind of nuanced, which I know is, it's like a crime in this day and age to just be nuanced about anything. It's not really good for the clicks. But, on the one hand, I do understand Bandai's increase in cost just because cost of materials is going up, cost of logistics is going up, and other just economic factors. So that's understandable. Also, it's a big kit and there's a lot of plastic in there. You guys saw the size of the box. It's like the box is like the size, like similar to like the HD Neozeon, but and have just a ton of plastic in there. So, I mean, I think there's definitely reasons to see why it's expensive as it is. That said, it still feels, even with all that in mind, it still feels a little more expensive than it really should be, I have to say. I think between $400 or $500, maybe. I mean, before it came out, we were all kind of expecting around $400. It's kind of based on the price of the PG Unleashed ARC 782, and then just kind of extrapolating from there. That's a larger design, bigger Gundam, especially if it would include the fin funnels, which was a question mark in the beginning because like the entry grade didn't. And so, I mean, especially with a PG that big, I mean, with all the parts for the fin funnels, it's just going to be a lot of parts. So anyway, we didn't know if it was going to really actually include the fin funnels or not, but we knew it was going to be expensive. It's big, for nothing else than just the fact that it's just a big kit, and if it includes all the same kind of stuff that the PG Unleashed did, like I said, you just kind of extrapolate it out from there. And so we were expecting $400, something along those lines. But even still, yeah, gotta say the price tag definitely did surprise us. Okay. Let's see. So it looks like, just like with the legs, it would appear that the construction of this gimmick here in the boosters and the wings is once again actually quite simple and straightforward, which I gotta say, it's great. funnels are made out of some new material that's supposed to be lighter, but it still comes with the plastic stand for them. The specs won't be able to stand. Yeah, with the funnels on, there's no way it's gonna be able to stand on its own for sure. Even if it's a lighter material, it's still gonna be too heavy. Yeah, there's no way. You definitely are gonna need the stand with it. That's another thing that I'm also disappointed about. The price, like I said, it does seem a little still overpriced a bit. And on top of that, I am not a fan of them reusing the unicorn's stand. Especially with the unicorn themed elements, like with the stand itself shaped like the unicorn's horn. It's like, at least make a new stand for it or something, maybe. So there you go. Here's how this works. They don't close up on their own very well, so those open up. And then when you turn it back, they should close. But okay. Yeah, anyway. Let's see. So we're supposed to open that up. It doesn't look like this is going to close back up on its own, unfortunately. But the opening gimmick works really well. Cool. This, and then like that. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Can understand the price, but reusing unicorn stands well gets me. Yeah. That's what I was just saying. Like, it's not like, it's reusing the unicorn stand, so now I'm not gonna buy it. Well, I'm not gonna buy it anyway. I'm gonna fortunately have the chance to build one because it's gonna be here for the store. But if I were having to pay for it out of my own pocket, no, I would not be buying one. Not for any reason like I don't expect the kit to be good. I expect the kit to be fantastic. And I'm not saying that I don't recommend you guys to buy it. I feel like if I come out and say it's not something that I would buy, then people are gonna take that as he's recommending not to buy it or something. But I'm just saying that I have other financial responsibilities. But yeah, if your financial situation is such that you can justify it and it's something that you want and it's something that you're excited about, then by all means. I gotta say, very, very pleasantly surprised at how easy this part of the construction was. I was coming into this thinking it's gonna be not difficult, but kind of a pain, because it looked fairly complex in how it appeared, but in actuality, not really that much. So I'm happy about that. This next part, though, is just a series of connections that looks like a mess. Okay, so we got one in here. Oh, and we have to put this in both sides? Oh yeah, for the wings. Oh, damn. That's why we got this one here, like that. Okay. And then goes into the top of here. Like that. And then we got this one's not that one. That goes for the other side. That goes for the other side. It's for this side. Like that. And then what? Okay. Let's see. And it's wild to see how fast you can put together an RG. Well, again, keep in mind all the parts were cut out ahead of time, and all like the nubs removed and everything. So all that's done ahead of time. So don't give me too much credit. There was, at least a few hours of work that were done ahead of what you're seeing at the moment. So it's not that fast, but it's still pretty fast. No panel lining or stickers either, just the bare plastic. Yeah. I mean, do sellers like the tariff import situation even less than you do? Yes. It's, I mean, nobody likes it. It's not good for anybody. It's not helping anybody. I don't know. It's not good. But yeah, it's not helping, like speaking on behalf of like the store or the USA Gundam Store here, like it's not helping us at all. If anything, it's hurting us, and so like it's really not helping anybody. In our situation. So that's the unfortunate state of that. Hi, Domaki. You deal with it, but then you buy a Gundam. How often is that they deal with it for every sale? Yeah. I mean, like from the retailer side of it, it's more of just having to deal with it for like importing products, and so like if you're importing like every company that you deal with, because I mean, like for like USA Gundam Store, we get stuff from Bandai, we get stuff from Kotobukiya, we get stuff from different distributors. And so any distributor, depending on the product, depending on the item, where it's from, and everything like that, there's like kind of different things that need to be considered for how the tariffs are affecting that. So yeah, it's a mess. Another thing that I do like about this design, just speaking on the kit again here for a moment, is that these backpack parts are much larger than they were with the HG. Where do I have the HG? I should have the HG Sky Zero around somewhere. Well, I don't recall where I have that. Actually, it'd be nice to be able to show you guys a comparison side by side, or like the regular HD Wing Zero, but I know I definitely don't have that because I haven't built it. But something I was gonna say, I lost my train of thought for a minute there. All right. Yeah. Anyway, tariff situation. Either no fun. Right. But these wing parts look great, I gotta say. They look really, really nice. Yeah, and I really hope that I can paint this kit. I really want to. It's like there's always other stuff that I'm like currently in the middle of finishing, so it's like, okay, well, so I really want to paint this kit, but I can't paint it right now. I at least have to finish what I'm currently working on. Then by the time I get around to that, then it's like other stuff comes up, and there's other kits coming out in between that I have to look at, and it's just endless. Can never have enough time to do all the things, but just have to work faster, harder, stronger. So these are just gonna be connected on here by ball joints, huh? Interesting. I've been zoomed in a bit because I wanted you guys to be able to see fairly closely. I'm gonna zoom out so you can see how these parts fold up. Just like that. I mean, it looks really good. Like, I'm impressed at how well this kit is designed, in that, like, it's just designed really nicely and everything works so seamlessly, as this part is not wanting to go in there. What? Hey? What's going on? Like a nub or something in there? Is that one in all the way? It is. What's the wrong one with this one? Go! Why is this not wanting to go in there? I feel like there must be a little bit of a nub or something stuck in there. What's the deal? Do I have this upside down? No. Do I have that upside down? No. Are those parts different? They are different. Okay, I must have switched those. That's interesting. Good thing I didn't on the other one, but for some reason I did on this one. Okay, points off. I was just in the middle of praising this kit, Bandai, how well it was designed, but this is something that I absolutely hate when they do this. Because normally it wouldn't matter, and this shouldn't affect any of you guys. But these two parts here that look almost exactly the same are slightly different. And to be fair, it does say in the manual right here. Those two parts there, D39, D40, it says that one is the short one and one is the long one. So to be fair, I should have paid attention to that. I did not. But they're so close. Are these both wrong? It's possible that these are the same, and I have, I'm gonna have to take the other one apart because these are actually the same. So that means I have, I think, probably two short ones in here. Yeah. And so, yes, that's something that I don't like when Bandai does this, because most of the time their parts are made in a way that, like, even if you tried to put the wrong part on, it just wouldn't fit. So it's like very, very, very foolproof, I like to say, because, like, you couldn't mess up even if you tried, because if it's not the right part, it just won't fit. In this case, the wrong parts will fit, and so then becomes a situation where I feel like it's, in that case, it's not designed well if I'm able to put the wrong parts in there, because I'm able to quickly realize what's going on, but I know that what's going to happen with someone else is going to make the same mistake that I just did. They're going to be putting it together, it's not going to fit, and then they're going to go on to think that it's a problem with the kit, problem with their kit. They're going to go online and say, I got a bad kit, my wing parts didn't go together properly, like that, yada 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 yada. And then I went and put it together wrong again, because the parts are so close. Even though there's one's longer, one's shorter, I still can line up, like, without checking very carefully. It's hard to tell which one's which. But yeah, it's just kind of like user error, and that's what generates, I feel like, more often than not, when you see people complaining about kits, it's user error. Not to say that Bandai's kits are perfect and no kits ever have any issues, because I mean, there are issues with different kits from time to time, but most of the cases, this is from a lot of years of experience here talking, it's I'm sorry to say, most of the cases it's just user error. People put the wrong part there, or put the part in the wrong way, or didn't clean up the nub enough before they put the part in, and so like it's not getting a good clean fit, or whatever the case is. It's often not the fault of the kit. So backpack parts are on, very large, and look really, really nice. There you go. Quite large indeed. Let me. So large, in fact, I need to zoom out a little bit so you guys can see what's going on here with this thing. And the clear part has fallen out of the chest twice now, and I do not like that. So I have to be very, very careful not to lose that. It's one of those where, like, that's the type of part where you kind of almost don't want to remove the nub all the way, because I feel like Bandai is almost, they're like, to a degree, they're almost like counting on people not to cleanly remove the nub, because I feel like if you do like perfectly remove the nub on parts like that, and it's also the same with like the MTSD clear eye parts, because they work in the same way for like those clear lens parts. If you remove the nub entirely, the part's a little loose in there, but if you happened to have like left a really teeny tiny, like the tiniest little bit of nub on there, that would actually be helpful, because it would help keep the part in place. So I feel like either those parts need to be made in a different way to have like a little bump or something as part of the actual part, or something, I don't know, but it's something that I've noticed. So just a word of advice when you're doing your nub cleanup on parts like that, leave a little bit there, because that little bit might actually be helpful to keeping the clear part in place. So Furry Bee Productions, I like the Nielsen Works. I wish Nielsen Works would make more wing knockoff kits. That Monument Telgeese was insane. Well, I've got some good news for you, my man, which I cannot say at the moment. I'm sorry to say. But I would say that in the near future, you might hear some news that you will be happy to hear. Dot. And that's all I have to say about that. But yeah. Nielsen Works. Yes, I agree. It would be cool to see something new from Nielsen Works. But I think I heard that if I'm not confusing this with something else, I think I had heard that after producing that kit, they actually intentionally destroyed the molds so that it couldn't be like ripped off by another company to make it, because we've seen that before, where like there'd be like a bootleg of a bootleg, which in that case, not really exactly, I wouldn't necessarily call that a bootleg, but like, you know, a bootleg copy of a third-party kit like that has happened. So yeah, if I'm remembering correctly, I think it was that Nielsen Works that yeah, they destroyed the molds for that kit because they didn't want it getting ripped off. But yeah, so if and when they're ever making any new versions of that kit, they have to make a completely new molds for it. Now, I don't know if they're going to change the design. They might keep the same design, like as far as like the actual like design of the frame or whatever like that. I don't think they're going to like, you know, design the whole thing from scratch again. But you know, if they're going to make like a variant or something of that, then they're going to have to at least reproduce molds. Yeah, so anyway, I guess just stay tuned. Word is there might be something coming that way at some point in the future. So, all right, so we're building the Buster rifles here, obviously. And then we'll get to the shield after that, and that'll be that. That's all there is to it. And there's a couple of really small parts here. SA Studio has made 160 full resin kit of the heavy arms and sand rock, waiting for that piano. Okay, interesting. Not the 3. I'm not. If I know of any possible variation, and I'm not saying that I do, but if I did, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's the 3. I mean, think about it. There's other versions that they could make. Personally, I kind of would like the 3, but it's not the only option. I mean, think about other different versions of the Tallgeese that they could, in theory, make. You know what I mean? Will you have leftover pieces, Zaku, from that? No, so it looks like there's not going to be any leftover pieces at all. You would love a 3 or a Flugel. Between the two, I would kind of prefer the Tallgeese 3, a version of the Tallgeese 3. I don't know. At the end of the day, you might. Well, I think you're going to be happy, I suppose, with either option, right? But if I told you, I don't know, between the two, I think I might prefer the Tallgeese 3. And you said between the two, you might prefer the Flugel. Which one of us ultimately will be happier with any future announcement? It might not be me. But until anything is announced, it's all just hypothetical. It's nice to dream a dream of what could be coming in the future. And as Forrest Gump once said, that's all I have to say about that. And that's one Buster rifle done. Where are we on time here? 1 hour, 35 minutes. Nice. I'm gonna be done here in about 10-ish minutes, something like that, I guess. Not too much left here, no? A couple of Buster rifle bits, a couple of shield bits, and that's all she wrote. Obviously, if you guys couldn't tell, this kit has been thoroughly impressive. If you do have any other questions, like about the build, about this kit specifically, feel free to ask now. And if it's something I can look at now, or if it's something I might have to come back and address, like in the actual review, I can do that, or both. That's fine. Or anything else you guys want to know about what's going on? Oh, a couple other things I will let you guys know about some other stuff that's going on. So okay, where do we start? Okay. I'm in command. Oh, thank you. Tall Geese 2 getting left behind. I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I assumed would have been the next version of the Tall Geese. I thought that they would have come out with a version of like the Tall Geese 2 straight away, because it's mostly just a recolor. That would have been like an easy pop off, but I don't know. Apparently not. But who knows? Maybe in the future. Anyway, okay. Announcement time. As we're getting towards the end of the build, not really much to announce for me. The Apex photo contest is ongoing. You guys still have till December 18th, so plenty of time still left for that. We're doing, if you guys missed that announcement, we're doing a photo contest at the moment. So it's something quicker, simpler, something that doesn't require you guys to paint. Your model kit can be painted if you want, but it's not at all a requirement, and very little of the judging will actually be dependent on your actual modeling skills, as it were. We're mostly just going to be looking. Mostly, hang on. Whoa. Is this not the right part? It has to be. Mostly just going to be looking at the photography. So we're just going to be looking for someone for entries. Actually, there's going to be 3 winners. The entries that just have some cool photography. So, and there's a lot on the line to win as well. Oh no, these parts are different. Let's see. First place wins a $300 gift card. Second place, $200. And third place, $100 USA Gundam Store gift card. So that's a lot that you stand to win. So I would highly recommend you guys to enter. And yeah, just looking for cool photography. It can be like something more fun, something more cute, can be something cool, groovy, epic, whatever you want. Just the only requirement is that it's featuring the USA Gundam Store Apex model kit. And other than that, so that's just up to you guys, up to your imagination. Whatever you want to make, whatever you want to do for your photography. So just do something cool with that. And yeah, the deadline is December 18th. So you still got 3 weeks, more than 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks still plenty of time for that. But don't wait, because if you wait, you're just gonna forget. Trust me, speaking from much experience on that one. Just ask my wife. But yeah, check that out if you guys missed it. In other news, if you guys have not seen the unboxing video that I did of the Fire Lord, so there's a new version of the Fire Lord that's coming out. I got an early copy of that, and I posted the unboxing last Sunday, and I will be doing the live build of that tomorrow on the USA Gundam TV channel. So tune in to that channel. Again, if you guys are not subscribed to that channel, please do, because then you will not miss any live builds that I'm doing over on that channel. So if you're already subscribed here, thank you. If you're not yet subscribed here, I mean, obviously subscribe here as well, but make sure that you're subscribed to both to not miss any live streams and stuff on this channel or on that channel. So yeah, I got the new Fire Lord. It's all ready to go. All the parts are all cut out, denubbed, and everything good to go. So yes, that will be tomorrow. Tune in on the USA Gundam TV YouTube channel live tomorrow for that. And then next week is Thanksgiving week, Black Friday week. There probably will be some stuff going on for that. Next Friday, a week from tomorrow, Adam and I will be live again over on the USA Gundam TV channel. We will be we'll be live over there and doing the kind of normal like Q&A stuff, but then also we're gonna be playing a fun game. Oh yeah, check out the post that I posted yesterday around on various social media about asking you guys to answer survey questions. That's all a part of the game that we have planned for Adam and I to do during the next live stream. So if you guys could take a minute and just fill out those survey questions, email those in, that will help make the game more fun for us. So I appreciate your guys' help with that. So we'll play a game, and of course have a lot of stuff to give away. We have we usually give away a kit. We usually have one kit, sometimes two, to give away during the USA Gundam Store, USA Gundam TV live streams. But this time I think we're going to have like 5 or 6, something like that. So we've got a bunch. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. That'll be Black Friday. And then, yeah, Small Business Saturday. We're open for build day here at USA Gundam Store. So come in, hang out if you guys are going to be around. I think it's going to be very full. So maybe come early. How's the PG Falcon going? So the PG Falcon is on hold at the moment just because I'm working on all this other stuff. Basically, I'm just kind of at the part where I just need to basically paint the figures and the cockpit interior. Most of the rest of the build is pretty quick. If you guys saw my first work in progress video, you've seen about that. Most of the builds, it's like pretty simple. But the interior cockpit parts need to be painted before, because like once those are like locked in, then they're in. So you can't go back and paint that stuff later. Unfortunately, it's not. It would have been cool if it was designed in a way that that part is like easily removable, so you could just like take that out and paint that and like pop it back in. But unfortunately not. So I could like just move on with other parts of the build, but I feel like if I ultimately I'm gonna have to paint because I'm planning on painting the whole thing. So ultimately I'm gonna have to paint the interior and the pilots, not the pilots anyway, the people anyway, or it's not even all people, the figures. I'm gonna have to paint the figures eventually. So anyway, that's what I want to just do that now at this stage, at this step where it's supposed to be done, and then move on with the rest of the build, just kind of following the manual. So that's where I'm at. Hopefully, anyway, in December, probably not by the end of probably not next week. So that means later in December, I'll get back to that. Won't finish it by the end of the year for sure, but if I can finish that cockpit part by the end of the year, then the rest of it, like I said, should be pretty quick after that, I think, relatively. So yeah, we'll make some more progress with that. And other stuff, if you guys remember earlier in this year, I also another big kit is that big Tiger tank model. If you guys remember that huge 1/12 scale Plamax Tiger tank kit that I did an unboxing for in like the middle of summer around there, still have that to work on as well. And so, among other things, there's a lot of stuff on this to-do list. But for now, like I said, the RG Wing Zero didn't really surprise me in any way. I expected it to be great. It's great. So not really any big surprises there. If anything, it surprised me that the parts of the build that I expected to be that I knew were a bit more complex, in particular the legs and the backpack. Even those more complex parts of the build were very simple and really nicely designed. So I think, yeah, really, really nice. So as I say, 2 thumbs up. Definitely check it out. But I'll work on this review and have that out for you guys soon. And in the meantime, yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. See you tomorrow on the USA Gundam TV channel for live building the Fire Lord. And then after that, TBD. So stay tuned. Anything that's finicky? I don't think so. Doesn't seem like it at this point, but we'll find out in the review, I suppose. So see you then. Bye-bye.